recently there were some bannings in Standard. Vivi got banned, Prof's Eidetic Memory got banned, and Screaming Nemesis. Well, we did kind of see Vivi getting banned on the horizon for a long time. Screaming Nemesis catching a stray did catch me by surprise. So a few of my decks that run red and run Screaming Nemesis are now invalid. So I'm taking a deck idea that I had in Gruul and I'm transplanting it over to Simic. And I think that I'm onto something pretty powerful here. So let's take a look at what we have here. So recently I played a Gruul Zoo style deck. Just a bunch of low, powerful, overstated for their cost creatures. And I wanted to bring this package over here to Simic and see if it works. And so far, it's been doing pretty good. So what we're running in this deck is we have 4 Llanowar Elves and 4 Pawpatch Recruit to get us started. Then in turn 2, we're playing Frenzied Baloth and Keen-Eyed Curator. Turn 3, we're playing Scrapshooter and Surrak the Elusive Hunter. Capping off turn 4 with the Ouroboroid. Now this deck has a really strong curve. The opening turns are getting you set up for your later turns pretty well, especially with Llanowar Elves allowing you to power out a turn 2 Scrapshooter or Surrak, or a turn 3 Ouroboroid. It's actually really, really strong to get those out super early. Now, because we're playing blue instead of red, we are going to be running a little bit more defensively. So what we're running here is we're running 2 Snakeskin Veil, 2 Overprotect, we're running 3 Into the Flood Maw, 2 Phantom Interference, and 3 Consult the Star Charts for a little bit of draw. So basically, the game plan is to just drop green dudes on the board, protect them, and get as much value as possible, which is really easy to do with this specific package, because you have the Pawpatch Recruit helping grow your team whenever your stuff gets targeted. You have Frenzied Baloth that makes your other creature spells, and this, of course, not be able to be countered, so this kind of nullifies counterspell strategies. And also, we are running Surrak, so whenever someone targets our stuff with single target removal spells, not only are we going to be able to put +1/+1 counters from the Pawpatch, but we also get to draw cards off of Surrak. It's a really strong 1 into 2 into 3 curve. And then, of course, we have the Ouroboroid at the top end to help grow the team to such a size that the opponent just can't stop us. And it's even more powerful once we've gotten a second Ouroboroid onto the table. It doesn't happen often, but when it does, typically you don't get to attack because your opponent has already conceded. It's a pretty fun strategy. Now, as far as the lands, you notice that there's only 3 cards in the entire deck that requires blue. The rest of the deck is all green, some of which are double green pips on turn 2 and 3. So that means we don't really have room for islands. So we're running 5 forests, 4 Botanical Sanctum, 4 Breeding Pool, 2 Restless Vinestalk, 4 Willowrush Verge, and 4 Fabled Passage. Now, this makes it so every land in the deck produces green mana. Now, there are a couple lands that come into play tapped, which can trip you up a little bit, but I find that the benefit of these lands kind of outweighs those few times you're going to get tripped up by them. But if you disagree with that, I would say maybe drop the Fabled Passages, and everything else will work just fine. So that's it. That's the deck. Let's go play some games, and I will see you at the back end of this video. What am I doing? What a great username there. Perfect. Okay. All right, we're going to go first. What do you got here? We got a Breeding Pool, Restless Vinestalk, and a Fabled Passage. Llanowar Elves, Flood Maw, Pawpatch Recruit, and Ouroboroid. This looks pretty decent. I'm going to keep it. Okay, well, we definitely want to get that elf out turn 1, so we're going to pay 2 life, play it. Here's to hoping they don't just outright kill my elf turn 1. Oh, no, Forsaken Miner. Alright, let's get this Willowrush Verge out. And we're going to play, with kicker, Pawpatch Recruit. Hopefully that'll help if they're playing any kind of spot removal. Also, if they don't do anything this turn. Okay, cool. That's perfect. I'm going to get rid of that. So I'll be able to play the Ouroboroid next turn and just start going off. That's actually a pretty good card against me because it targets me, not my creatures. Ooh, actually, no, this actually does suck a little bit because I can't do the Ouroboroid just yet. So we're going to go with the Restless Vinestalk. And then we're just going to swing in for 3. Right, and end turn. It gives me an opportunity to use Into the Flood Maw against whatever they cast. Oh, that'll be perfect. Yeah, resolve that. Okay, pass. Alright, we're gonna go Flood Maw their skeleton token. And take 3. Alright, now we can do this. Alright, let's go and crack that. That was a very awkward turn 3, unfortunately. Alright, get that out. Let's get an Ouroboroid on the table. Power up. I'm gonna hold the Llanowar Elf back, actually. So I can play another Llanowar Elf. Here's to hoping they don't have a discard spell. Because I would really like to get double Ouroboroid on the table. That'd be really good. Corrupted Conviction. What are they hoping to get? Another Strategic Betrayal. Okay, that's fine. So I will get rid of this 1/1 Llanowar Elf. Betrayal's not really doing you a whole lot of good right now, because you're about to get ran over. Do they pay the 1 life to return it? Survey says... Yeah, take the 1 free point of damage. I'm into that. Alright, get that Ouroboroid out. And here we go. Yup, hit that concede button real fast. Okay, I'm going to go first. We have 3 lands, both of our colors. Pawpatch and Scrapshooter. A little bit of protection. Yeah, we'll keep it. Alright, let's go Botanical Sanctum into Pawpatch. Lanes into some Vanwives. Oh, is this cats? I like cats. They're cool. Let's see. Go Willowrush Verge. Then we'll attack for 2. See what you do. Alright, they chose not to do anything, so 2 damage for you. Alright. Hushwood into Sky Knight Squire. Alright. Breeding Pool will come down. We'll pay 2 life to make it happen. And I think we'll play Surrak. Attack for 2. And they take the damage. Alright, another Hushwood Verge. Savannah Lions, +1 counter for the Sky Knight. And a Kellen. Oh, not playing the Kellen. Probably should have played the Kellen. At least I would. Alright, let's get that Fabled Passage out there. Activate the ability. Go get a forest. Boom. Alright, let's go ahead and attack. For 6. See what they do. Alright, no blocks. Perfect. Alright, well, let's go ahead and play a Llanowar. And a Scrapshooter. No reason to gift. It's the only artifact they have on the table is a map token. Heron Tusk, huh? Okay, that's cool. I like that. Oh, is that counters for artifacts too? No, it's just whenever another creature comes in. Alright, well. Looks like now is the right time to attack. Okay, block there. And there, huh? Okay, well, we're going to overprotect this one. There we go. Get an extra damage through and survive the combat. Awesome card. Alright, opponent goes to 3. We'll play that Bosank. Overprotect is such a strong card. I love it. But now I am completely wide open. I don't have anything in my hand. Hey, that's cool too. I like that. Alright. Let's go get him again. Alright. There. And there. Alright, well. Let's get that +3/+3. And get just enough damage through. Boom. GG. Cats is strong, but I don't think they had the right cards or the right curve in hand to really pop off. Okay, this actually looks pretty good. We got a decent curve. 1, 2, and 3. I'll keep it. Alright, let's go. Forest first. Get the Pawpatch out. Okay, they drop up plains. Scavenger, huh? Well, I know what we're going to save our Into the Flood Maw for. Let's go Botanical Sanctum. Play a Frenzied Baloth. Attack with both. Yeah, I did not think you were going to block that. This deck really relies on the Optimistic Scavenger. Yep, it's out. Thanks for the +1 counter, though. Veteran Survivor, huh? Beginning of the second main phase, if this creature was tapped, exile up to 1 target card from a graveyard. As long as there are 3 or more cards exiled with this creature, it gets +3/+3 and hexproof. Yeah, that's pretty good. Alright, let's go. Let's go Willowrush and Keen-Eyed Curator. Next, attack with 3. See if they block this time. Yeah, they did. Good for them. End turn. Are they out of lands to play? Oh, no. There's the plains. Looks like maybe they're deciding what to do. Feather of Flight? Okay. Now let's see that Ethereal Armor drop. As soon as that Ethereal Armor lands on that creature, that needs to go. Take 4. Alright, end of turn. Let's go and remove your card. Restless Vinestalk, huh? Okay. Whale. Let's go ahead and attack with 3. Play a Surrak. We are unfortunately tapped out. And this would probably be the turn that they drop Ethereal Armor or something. This deck is 100% a Voltron deck. So they are going to go all in on that one creature. This creature is flying as long as it's modified. Interesting. +1 counter on the Wonder Weave. Yeah, that's what I thought. Ow. Alright. Let's attack. Okay, they're gonna block. What does this do? What's the most counter target creature you control becomes a legendary spider hero? Oh, okay, it doesn't really do anything. Okay, so they're taking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Almost enough. Actually, I think we do have enough. Yeah. So let's Flood Maw this. Get that 1 point of toughness off the board. And then we can Overprotect that and get 10 damage in. Easy. Why give them the chance to make another turn? Okay, and we are back with the post-game wrap-up. And my thoughts on this deck are... it's good. It's a pretty solid deck. I ended up playing about an hour and a half worth of games with this deck. And most games ended within, I want to say, about 3 to 4 minutes. It is a very fast deck. And pretty stable, too. I will say that our pipeline of Pawpatch Recruit into Frenzied Baloth into Surrak, like, that is a very strong pipeline. Because, like, the amount of, like, punishment that you can deal to slower controlling decks cannot be understated. Like, this is such a great package of just really offensive creatures that really set your opponents off balance, because your opponent really doesn't want to waste removal spells when you are getting so much benefit for your removal. And the Llanowar Elves, I really feel, is like kind of necessary for this deck as the backup 1-drop, just so you can get the Ouroboroid out a little bit faster. It's really, really strong. There's a reason why this is one of like the best cards from Edge of Eternities. It's just a really, really strong card. But let's talk about the negatives for the deck. First negative is in the mana base. I think I am actually going to be taking the Fabled Passages out of this deck, just because I end up drawing them at the wrong time far too often, so I'm probably going to drop those for some more forests. And another negative is actually in the Phantom Interference. I am playing this deck so aggressively that I don't often have an opportunity to actually cast Phantom Interference. I've drawn it plenty of times, but I never cast it. I don't think I cast it a single time in any of the games that we played tonight, simply because I'm too busy being aggressive and playing creatures onto the table rather than holding mana back for this. Into the Flood Maw gets cast plenty of times, and so does Consult the Star Charts for some extra card draw. But Phantom Interference never gets played. It just doesn't. So I'm thinking I'm going to drop those in favor of another Snakeskin Veil and another Overprotect. Because, like, these are cards that functionally do the same thing as Phantom Interference, because most of the time I'm countering spot removal with Snakeskin Veil and Overprotect. It's like that's the best usage for my mana in most cases, especially when your opponent is outpacing you on lands. After a while, the Phantom Interference is going to fall off in value because you're never going to be able to counter anything, even if you have the opportunity to. So yeah, I think I'm going to drop the Phantom Interference. But yeah, aside from that, the creature package in this deck is really just so strong. I think green is actually in a really good spot right now in terms of just like stompy creatures. Getting bigger dudes out for your mana is just so strong right now. Being able to outpace your opponents so quickly, I like it. It's a good thing. I'm going to keep doing it. I'm actually going to go play some more games of this after I get done recording this. But yeah, that being said, feel free to check the description box for the deck list and iterate on it further, and let me know what kind of changes you made to the deck. And I will see you in the next video. Take care.